The mainstream media is lying to you every day. Do you even care? Hi, thanks for watching. Today, I want to talk about the mainstream media because it's Mainstream Media Monday, and this is a story that took place not too far from my own house. So you've probably heard about it because it's made international news and gone totally viral. Here's what the Washington Post said about it. A black lawmaker was canvassing door-to-door in her district. A constituent called 911. That would be really interesting if it were true. But it's not true. But here's what happened.
I was just recognizing a stranger in our neighborhood, and I called the non-emergency line because that's what I thought you did.
Oh, she called the non-emergency number. The non-emergency number is not 911. In fact, do you think that the Washington Post would run with a story, a black lawmaker was canvassing door-to-door in her district, a constituent called the non-emergency number? No. That doesn't make a good headline, and it doesn't fit the narrative. In fact, calling the non-emergency number is what we are encouraged to do. I take my dog, Coconut, to the park every day, and here's the sign at the park, Neighborhood Watch, Program in Force. We report all suspicious persons and activities to our law enforcement agency. But according to Janelle Bynum, our state rep, we should put a little asterisk at the bottom that says, except if you're black, right? Because if you report anyone being suspicious that's black, apparently that's totally racist. Well, I'm sure the call to the non-emergency number will sound really racist. So let's check that out.
Police and fire dispatch. Hi, so I just wanted to kind of inform you guys that we have this lady that's been walking up from Mather, and like for no apparent reason is walking from house to house, and she's not in like any business or have any badge or anything like, you know. Can you tell me where this is at? The weird thing is that she just stops at the end of the driveway, whether or not she talks to somebody. So she like knocks on the door, and then if somebody's there or not, she'll stop at the end of the driveway and enter something into her home. And I mean, it takes a couple minutes per house. We just think it's weird because usually people are out of town for this weekend, and I don't recognize her. So and she clearly like avoided us. And she's just in regular street clothes, like camo pants and a white shirt and no badge that I can see.
You're a white female?
No, she's African American from my cousin's house. Her hair's up in a bun.
Wow. So that was the call, and that is what we are to believe is totally racist? If you believe that the woman that called on Representative Bynum was racist, you're entitled to believe that. There's no evidence that she was acting in a racist way whatsoever, but you can believe that it's racist. Yeah, but I know what you're saying. You're like, Tom, she wouldn't have called on, say, a white guy that was out campaigning. Well, that's not true either. In fact, Councilman Joe Buck had the sheriff's department called on him when he was out campaigning in the same neighborhood. But it didn't make an international story because he's a middle-aged white guy. Now, if you ask me, if you're out walking around for a half hour by 7 houses and you're making notes on your phone, you're not wearing any ID, you're wearing a white t-shirt and camo pants, I wouldn't necessarily think that you were a state rep, no matter what your race was. What we are told to do by the police is if you see something suspicious, to call the non-emergency number. And that's exactly what happened here. Why does everyone think that she called 911? Well, that's because State Representative Janelle Bynum said that. And she said that in the Oregonian in her piece. Originally, it was titled, "Skip 911 next time and just say hello." Now, when it was revealed that this was not a 911 call, the Oregonian went back and changed that headline. And now the headline reads, "Skip calling the cops next time and just say hello." But there's no indication that that headline has been changed whatsoever. You know, in the past, when newspapers would make corrections at the bottom of the story, they would say, in a previous version of this article, it stated this, however, we've changed it to say this. And they make it clear what has been corrected. But the Oregonian did not do this at all. In fact, this is standard operating procedure now for the mainstream media. NPR reported on this story, and the first line in the story originally was a neighborhood resident called 911 on Oregon State Rep Janelle Bynum, who is a black woman, while she was canvassing. NPR went back and changed their article as well. And they just deleted all the references to the 911 call. And they didn't make any note on the article whatsoever that they made changes to it. And the problem with this is that I've seen reports that like 80% of people don't even read the article, they just read the headline. And when you have headlines that are inaccurate, that's a big problem. Representative Bynum thinks that she is a victim here. And in fact, this is what she says about the incident.
I hope that I can be a voice for people who look different from the mainstream. But I mean, honestly, I live in this neighborhood. I feel like I should be able to walk anywhere I want without being second guessed.
She thinks that she should be able to walk anywhere she wants without being second guessed. Well, it wasn't like she was just walking through the neighborhood. She was stopping, she was going up to houses, looking in windows, making notes on her phone, and she seemed to be hanging out there for a long time. That's not just walking through the neighborhood. But to think that anyone can go through and not be second guessed. I got long hair. I got a pit bull. I ride a skateboard every day. You don't think I get second looks? Of course I do. But Representative Bynum thinks that she's a victim. In fact, here's the end of the NPR article where she says, "You've created a victim," she said of such police encounters. But then there's no justice for that victim. How is she a victim? She was out campaigning. A sheriff rolled up and said, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm campaigning." He's like, "Cool." And she's like, "Okay, can I take a selfie?" Doesn't sound like much of a victim to me. Now, one of the issues here that I've seen is anytime I ever question a narrative in the media, especially if it involves race, I just get called a racist. I get called a Nazi. Anytime I question anything that has to do with the Democrats, they just accuse me of being a right-winger. And I think that's a real shame. I've done some videos about cultural things, and people just tell me that because I'm white, I shouldn't have an opinion on it. Because I'm a man, I shouldn't have an opinion on it. And I guess I'm over it. I'm done with it. I guess bring on all the hate in the comments. I guess I can deal with it. I think this is important. I think that the media should report on things accurately and not just craft a story that fits into a narrative, because that's not real. And this story that you've heard about campaigning while black, it's not real. Maybe you can read people's minds, and you can read this lady's mind and know that she was a racist and that's why she called. But there's no evidence of that whatsoever. And if you think that I'm a racist just for pointing that out, then that's kind of sad, and I feel sorry for you. But I would like to hear your comments. Leave them below. Peace.
You can help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers by clicking the like button and subscribing. Thanks.